So, in the storm chasing world these days, you see a lot of people. Well, there's two types of chasers. People like actual proper chasers, and that actually have some money and are sort of well funded. Actually, I guess there are three. There's like some well funded proper chasers. They litter up their vehicles, do all this stuff. There are amateur chasers that pretend to do all that stuff, and don't actually know anything about storms and stuff like that, but they'll like put the Skywarn stickers and all that crap on their cars. And then it's kind of like the middle chasers that don't really do any of that stuff to their vehicles, and they just go chase the tornado in their just stock vehicle. They get hail dents on it, stuff like that. Well, I'm kind of in between that, all of those, with this, the 92 Jeep XJ. I actually know shit about weather. I've seen about 7 tornadoes this year, including out of this very vehicle, we deployed a Pro back on May 16th directly into the Sikeston, Missouri tornado. Friggin' awesome. You gotta see the video on that. And I got a lot of comments, people like, what the hell vehicle are they driving? Look at this piece of shit Jeep. Can't believe they're chasing in that. That thing's gonna break down at the next moment. I'm here to tell you that no, this has been a great chase vehicle, and it did not cost me very much. Though I do have an unfair advantage. I am, in fact, a mechanic, so I know how to work on these cars. But I got this for $500, running and driving, had no floors, no rockers, none of that stuff, and I kind of stuck it back together and put it on the road and started chasing with it. And I put about 15 or so thousand miles on it so far, and actually I'm about to put a few more miles on it chasing this afternoon. In fact, I should be leaving in probably about 30 minutes, but I thought I could make a quick video before I leave. But basically, I think I should start a trend. Well, actually, I guess Randy Hicks started this trend with his Toyota of using these old classic cars to chase in. Which, I mean, I wouldn't call this much of a classic, but you know what I mean. It's fun. These old cars are fun. And getting them up to snuff to chase in, it's like a lot of people aren't expecting these things to last. So I'm thinking I'll start a trend. It's like the Will It Run trend on YouTube, where people find cars and drive them thousands of miles after sitting for 20 years or whatever. Some classic car, they throw a bunch of parts at it, drive it. Vice grip garage, pole barn garage, roadkill for that matter. Well, I'm going to start that trend. Will it chase? So I already kind of did it with this one. That one indeed will chase. I got a couple cars around here I could see if they'll chase. That one chases. That one chases. This one actually does chase. So it leaves these two. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's a long way off me ever getting that thing going on the road again. But this, Old Yeller, my 1974 GMC C1500. I've had this truck since I was 15, and I've driven the heck out of it over the years. And I think this has the potential for 2026 to actually be a proper chase vehicle. And you might be saying stuff like, oh, it doesn't have cruise controls, doesn't have any of those, doesn't have lane assist, doesn't have any of that stuff. Neither does the Jeep. And I've had fun. I've been fine with that thing. I don't need air conditioning. I don't need any of that stuff. This truck, I know about every nut and bolt of this truck. So I think I could get it going on the road. Now, it's not actually been on the road for a couple years, but that's going to change. It's not been on the road since about 2023. But I'm going to get it on the road. So what's got under the hood right now? The 250 straight 6. This actually is a pretty good looking motor, except which I painted it. That's pretty much why. It's a worn out piece of crap that has a cracked block, and it leaks water into the oil. Now, how do I know it's got a cracked block? I pulled the head thinking it was a head gasket, found it was a cracked block, and I just decided to put it all back together. It's cracked around, well, there's a crack here and a crack there. I just threw it back together with some K-Seal because I still use this truck to haul water and stuff like that. And it's actually held up okay, but the motor's worn out. It's clattering pretty bad. It's probably wiped out the rod bearings. So something needs to change here. So I did the logical thing, which is not getting a 350 like everybody told me to, or LS swapping or whatever. Went and found. I just picked this up literally yesterday. A 250 straight 6 out of I think it was an 81 Chevy C10. So there we go. Now there's some differences between this and the motor that's in it, but it should be a pretty direct swap. And yeah. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw this motor in there. Before I throw it in there, I'm obviously going to reseal it and stuff like that. I actually have a different cylinder head I'm going to put on it. I know a good bit about these straight sixes. I know how to kind of hop them up slightly, and I do have some speed parts. I'm not going to quite go that far into it right now, but I am going to put a cylinder head on it at least. Because older style cylinder head is just better. These ones tend to crack and have a vacuum leak and stuff like that, where because the manifold is integrated into the head. So I'm just gonna yank all that off, and like I said, again, I got a stockpile straight six parts, throw that all together. I did have a video of it running, so I do know it runs. It didn't sound too bad, but these engines are pretty unkillable. Like, in the condition this thing's been in, it's still been running for like 3-4 years. It's kind of amazing how much I've beat the shit out of this engine. I mean, if it wasn't for the cracked block, if I could control the coolant ingress into the crankcase, if I was able to fix that, I just run this engine. But even with, like, it's got so much blow by, it's crazy. But anyways, I got the tune-up perfect. Like, I got the distributor, all that stuff. All the tune-up is perfect. Plug wires are new. The carburetor I went through the carburetor. It's an upgraded. It's Carter YF carburetor, and I actually got that at a swap meet. Replaced a monojet with it, and then I kind of cleaned it out and stuff, and it runs like brand new. Basically, this thing does run good. So I throw all my good tune-up stuff, all that stuff, onto that motor, and there we go. I might even use the head from this one, because this head came off a 194 inline 6, has a slightly larger or smaller chamber size, so it'll bump the compression up to 9-to-1. But anyways, other than that, there's really not a whole lot this truck needs, other than, you know, like a radio and stuff like that, because I know for a fact the front end's in good shape. I've had it, I've shook it down and stuff before, repacked the front the wheel bearings and stuff like that. Never touched the rear differential, so before I take it across country, I'd probably mess with that. I've also never touched the rear brakes on this thing, so I'm probably going to, just for preventative measures, I'm going to put wheel cylinders and stuff in it, because all the brake lines and stuff seem to be in good shape on this truck. It's not a Southern truck, but it's from Missouri. The whole body rotted out, but they did like an oil bath undercoating on it all every year, it looks like, and the frame is like it came off a Southern truck, and the fuel system's all like, well, it's all original, but it works like brand new, because this truck never sat. This truck never sat. It was a farm truck up until about 2018. This thing was still being driven around the farm before I bought it, until the owner died, and some guy bought it, some like friend of the family bought it, and then ended up selling it to me. So anyways, Old Yeller is gonna become a chase truck. And if you're worried about hail and stuff like that, now square body windshields aren't too hard to come by. If I need to get a windshield, I can. These side windows are probably not gonna get damaged by super major hail. This roof is already hail damaged. And look at this hood. Look how lumpy this hood is. It's not hail damage. This hood came off, so the original hood, I was going down the interstate, flew open on me and tacoed, which these square body hoods are known for tacoing, but tacoing the other way, where they bend because of the crumple zone. Well, no, what happened here is it bent that way. So I had to find a new hood. So I went and I found this hood that had been fire damaged for 20 bucks on Marketplace. I'm like, okay, it's all lumpy stuff like that, but I painted it. It looks kind of weird and cool, but I like it. I really like it. This old tractor paint has a cool look to it, but before I do take it chasing, I might give it a quick kind of pole barn garage style paint job. I got a new piece for the lower fender, and I might try to clean up my shitty bodywork I did when I was 17 a bit. Just, you know, to make this thing, I'll really just like focus here where it counts, and make this actually kind of straight. Shit like this, never really gonna fix it, but that's what the wood grain's for. So anyways, in the next couple of weeks, I'm hoping within the next couple of weeks to get this motor in this truck and get this truck driving, because I have some other plans for it too. I'm probably gonna start sort of dailying it again, because I did used to daily this thing. I put like 15,000 miles on it, which for a classic car, that's a lot of miles to put on a classic car. Which I know I put more than that on the Jeep in like 4 months, but come on, it's a lot of miles for a classic car. So anyways, just stay tuned to see this video series, because this truck is going to be magnificent. and probably internet famous.